Hi folks, Doc here. It's kind of a crummy day outside. The weather's been really goofy lately. Last Monday and Tuesday we had some exceptionally cold weather. Well, I shouldn't even say that. I mean, we get weather that cold in the winter, you know, here in Ontario, but it was cold for what it's been lately. And then the temperature shot back up again, and the little bit of snow that we had is doing a really good job melting. And now it's raining outside, which is really a bit of a drag because I was planning on taking you outside and showing you what I've done to Commando in the last week or so when I've had a little bit of free time now and then. Still going to do that. I guess I got to kind of wait for a break in the rain to do that. But I've been, you know, slowly adding the Doc touches to it, and you know, a lot of the stuff that I peeled off M2 is going on there because, well, that was part of the project plan. Now let's go have a look. So I think in the general interest of not getting the camera wet, for now I can sit inside the shop in the doorway, and I'll bring Commando around the corner, let you have a look. Okay, so there you have the new look of Commando's rear end. As you can see, I did the 5-gallon jerry can military surplus thing that I had on M2, and I basically, I have no choice but to get a little wet here. Rain's backed off a little bit anyways. I used the existing hitch bracket that somebody else fabricated as a mounting platform, and I just did some stuff with some angle iron and then scabbed on the existing tray that I had built to hold the can, and then I did some bracing and bracketing from there, and that's what we have left. This time around, instead of doing the quick release metal tab thing, I did a strap. I still have to come up with some little clips to put the fuel line in, but that's basically what we have there. And as you can see, I put some eyelets in there to hold the strap, and I've just got a cam buckle strap holding the can in. And part of the reason that I didn't do the metal quick release clip thing is that I mounted it higher this time around, and as you can see, there really was no practical way to do that clip up top, and I didn't want to weld anything to the can itself. So I just added those upright pieces of angle iron, and that cradles the can pretty well, and with the strap in, there's no moving it. She's solid. Now, you might notice the tires. The tires I just picked up. I just got mounted up the other day. And they are Carlisle Mud Wolves at 2511 by 12. And as you can see, I have just a wee bit more clearance than I did before, which is a good thing. That's part of the reason that I bought them. They've got some, you know, nice big juicy lugs, but they're an inch or so smaller in diameter, and that solved most of my clearance problems. As you can see, I haven't even put all the lug bolts back in yet. What I did have to do, you can see there, is cut the humps out of the fenders. So I'm gonna have to fill those in with some sheet metal. Did both sides, and that's where the factory gas tank went. They had the factory tank under the seat, and because it was so wide on the SS 16s, I'm not sure about the other models, but on these things the tank was wide enough that they had to hump the fenders into the wheel wells just a little bit for some clearance. And even with the new tires on these particular rims, I still had to cut those humps out. So be it. I'll fill them in with some sheet metal later. No problem there. So yeah, these tires, I'm pretty pleased with these things so far. They're beefy. They've still got the little rubber nipples all over them. Ooh, rubber nipples. And anyways, they're a lot heavier than the mud lights, I've noticed. They are 6-ply. They're very tough by the feel of it. Mounting them was a bit of a treat. And I can't foresee having any issues tearing or puncturing them, just because the carcasses are so heavy. They're very well built tires. I paid 150 bucks a tire at Princess Auto over the holidays there, and I had a coupon for 10% off, so it basically covered the taxes. But oh yeah, there's the Princess Auto sticker. And these things even have some lug action on the sidewalls there, so they look like they'll be good for grabbing stuff off-road. Oh, rain is picking up. No, maybe not. Maybe that was just falling off the trees. Anyways, oh, let me slam the seat down there. I have very minimal clearance between the seat and the can, so I'm probably going to play with that just a little bit to improve that a little bit. But that is Suburban Commando as she sits right now. Next up is dealing with the front tires. Those factory ones kind of honk. Just too smooth for my application. I noticed when I was playing around in the snow and stuff that they didn't steer as well as I would have liked. So next up is dealing with the tires. Now, before I cut the camera and spend an extraordinary amount of time staring at a front bumper and measuring tires and playing around and goofing off and trying to figure out how I'm going to accomplish what I want to accomplish, I just wanted to take this opportunity to mention that I got a lot of positive feedback on the first episode of Doc's Dirt Cheap DIY the other day there. And I just wanted to thank you folks for checking it out and you know, giving it a watch and let me know what you think of the concept. For those of you that haven't seen it yet, I invite you to check it out and let me know what you think. Excuse me, and I'll get busting on shooting some more new episodes soon. Well, hell. While I was in the shop, the weather turned to caca. So after I finished doing what I was doing, took a little drive. Things are good, as you can tell by the tire tracks. Hey, what's with those tire tracks? Yeah, what started off as basically a feasibility exercise, just to examine it, turned into this. Yeah, that happened. Those are, I think they're 21 inch diameter, 21 or 22 inch diameter, 5-inch wide egg tires. They came off my old Yanmar, and I re-drilled them to a 4-on-4 bolt pattern. And the more astute amongst you will notice that the axle is not stock either. No, it's not. That's actually the front axle from the Bannerman chassis. And had to modify it just a wee little bit to get it to fit in place. And I've got a temporary tie rod on there. It was just kind of cut the old one apart into pieces and lengthen it so it fit what I was doing. And the Bannerman axle is 35 or 36 inches wide, and I know from this angle it looks really wide. It is fairly wide, but due to the offset on these rims, it's not actually that bad. Overall, the front track width is just barely wider than the rear track width, and that's I'm actually really happy with that. I decided to go with the pizza cutters on the front because I wanted this machine to be most capable in all conditions for utility purposes, and one of my requisites for that is to be able to steer sharply. And these tires are doing that very nicely, as I predicted they would. And that helps accomplish what I want to accomplish. Now, the reason for going to the Bannerman axle was twofold. Number one, again, the 4-on-4 hubs with bearings in them, high-speed adjustable bearings. And number two, you'll notice there's no drop in this axle. The stub shafts come straight out the center line from the axle, as opposed to, you know, your standard lawn tractor or garden tractor axle, which you know, has the J spindles that come down like that. And basically the purpose for that was I knew damn good and well once I put those tall front tires on, I was going to wind up with my nose in the air, and that is something that does not interest me. It's not so much that I don't want to jack up the back to match, it's that I want a fairly low center of gravity on this thing so that no matter what I'm doing, she's stable. And mission accomplished there. I cut some turns out here, and so far I'm really happy with it. So I've got to play with that pivot bolt there. The pinhole in the axle is of a larger diameter than the stock Sears bolt and holes. So I'm either going to have to insert some bushings or drill out the stock Sears axle bracket for a larger, thicker bolt so that it fits better, because right now there is some play, as you can see. That was predictable, that's no problem, that's something I can deal with. But the steering is working well, the tires are working well, and I'm very happy with what I've done here. So yeah, 12-inch front and rear, and there we go. We're gonna call that a weekend. It's late Sunday afternoon. Don't know if I'm gonna get the video produced tonight, but yeah, very happy with the progress this weekend. Thrilled, in fact. Suburban Commando is gonna be quite the utility machine. So once again, thanks for tuning in and subscribing and watching and sharing Sprocket's Garage on YouTube. And I invite you to check out the Sprocket's Garage Facebook page, and feed your adhesive addiction at sulphurcitydesign.com. Until next time, take care of yourself.